Hello and welcome back to the wild, you beautiful people. I'm in the sunshine, I'm in my studio, I have my green screen and I'm very excited to bring this small unboxing or small episode to you today because I have 3 items of equipment in here which I'm really excited to share with you. 2 of which came from the announcement at the Fuji X Summit in Sydney in May, which is the Fujifilm GFX 100S2 and the Fujifilm GF 500mm f/5.6, which are in these 2 boxes. And then I have an additional lens, which I'll talk about in a minute. I've never shot with the GFX series, the GF series before now. This is my first time ever. I'm very much an X series gal. I have the Fujifilm X-H2 and the Fujifilm X-H2S. They are my equipment. So this is a completely new realm for me in my photography. And I'm just really excited to get going with this equipment. The backstory is that Fujifilm, thank you, Fujifilm UK, have kindly let me borrow this gear for the next 2 weeks because I'm taking a trip abroad, which I'll talk about more at the end, where I'm taking this stuff away to do wildlife photography. That's the main goal, the main aim, and then I'm going to borrow it again in a few weeks' time to go and do some more wildlife photography in the UK of Skomer Island to get puffins and other seabirds. So that's the plan. So I've got a lot coming up for you. And I just really want to test this out properly in the field. That's what I like to do and give an all-rounded experience of how it performs. That's what I do. That's how I go about my photography. Yes. So let's unbox these. I'll show you what's in there. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll give you a brief discussion. And this is just to set the scene of what's coming and to show you this new amazing equipment that's in here. Let's get opening them. So hidden in the first box we have, ta-da! We have the GFX 100S Mark II, this camera body right here, which is so beautiful. And I have to state the obvious for my first impressions, it is massive. I have to add, I'm a really small person. I'm like a petite person in like size. So yeah, my hands are quite small against this. It's quite small against my body. It's like the size of my face. So that does make a difference, but it is a big camera and the size of that sensor hole, it's crazy. And this is a medium format camera. So I'm used to shooting crop sensor. So this is going to be a big adjustment from the X-H2S or the XH series because the equivalent will be different. It would actually be wider, I believe. Like the 500mm is like 396mm equivalent. So it's very different from what I'm used to. So I'm gonna have to make big adjustments to this. But looking at the camera body itself, I love this texture on the housing. It's so grippy and it feels very well made, built and heavy, like in terms of chunky, not heavy in a bad way. I love that there's a mashup between the XT series and the XH series in terms of the buttons. Like this is from the XH series. Then you've got your movie option button, other dials like your manual focus button just here, which I love and I've really missed on the XH series, but you have that on the XT series. So yeah, it just seems like there's a nice merge between the whole series, which I love. And this is actually more of a photography camera, so this is going to be very weird for me again to swap back from the X-H2S, which is a hybrid camera for filming and photography, and then to go back to a photography camera. So it's, yeah, a lot of adjustment, but I'm going to look forward to using it. You have an LCD screen here, which is similar to the XT series again. It's not fully articulated, it just comes out, which again I've missed, but for self-portrait work and for vlogging, I like my fully articulated. So yes, and I believe it has a dual SD card system, not the CF Express. So this is gonna be very different for me, as I've said like 500 times, but I'm looking forward to using it and to see what I can get with it. So this is the GFX, I keep wanting to say XH, this is the GFX 100S2 and it is beautiful. First impressions, oh, Eric's gone. First impressions, it's beautiful. Let's move on to the next box. Okay, let's move on to the second box, which is another lens, a small one. Okay, let's open it. So, in this box is the Fujifilm, we all know that, GFX, or GF, sorry, 55mm f-stop 1.7. So this lovely prime. And I asked Fuji if I could borrow a prime along with the telephoto as well, because I thought it'd be good to have like a small lens as a backup. I did not realize how big this lens would be. This whole series is massive. So this is a pretty chunky lens. I think that's the same size as my 16 to 55 millimeter. Overall though, it looks good, it's nice, it's well built, it's chunky, it's solid. I'm really looking forward to trying the f/1.7. I love a wide aperture, I love that dreamy, ethereal vibe, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this pairs up well with the GFX 102 S2. I'll get there in the end. And I'm really looking forward to the two of them together. Got a lovely little lens hood with it that locks into place. This has got a filter attached, but it doesn't necessarily come with that. And yeah, everything feels smooth and great. You've got the lock button for the aperture as well, which I really enjoy. This is weather resistant, made in Japan. I think the whole series is made in Japan, which is great. So yeah, this is it, the 55 millimeter. I'm looking forward to using this with the whole setup, which I think will be great. Let's go on to the next box. Whew. Right guys, the last box, the biggie. She's a biggin. Let's have a look what's inside. We know what's inside. I'm gonna have to move this, it's too big. Okay, so in the last box we have this beauty, which I'm actually surprised by the size. So this is the Fujifilm 500mm f/5.6 prime telephoto lens in the GF series, and it is so nice. It actually reminds me of, is it the 80 to 100mm in the X series? I can't remember the exact lens I'm thinking of. But it kind of is a similar style and a similar build, which I think is really nice. And this lens isn't massive. But I've had both the camera and the other lens being massive, but this for a 500mm, I'm really surprised about. It's actually quite compact. It feels light, but robust and heavy at the same time in terms of quality. But yeah, I love it. I think it's really good. I'm really looking forward to using this. Just on some quick observations, you've got your standard buttons, you've got your custom buttons up here, you've got an aperture that goes from 5.6 to 32, that's pretty high. You have your other adjustable buttons like your image stabilization, your distancing and things like that, and you also have your rotator for your foot mount, which you can rotate that horizontally or vertically, which is great vertically. And you also have the ability to attach a teleconverter, but I don't have a teleconverter with this. I've just got the 500mm. Again, made in Japan and weather resistant, so happy days. And it does come with a lens hood, hold on, which looks like this, and it has a little lock system again, which I will show you. That is your lens hood with it attached. So yeah, it looks pretty decent with the lens hood. It's kind of nice to have a black telephoto lens, because a lot of them, when they get to the more like fancy ones, they're normally white. So it's actually quite nice to have a black telephoto for a change. Okay, so that's it attached to the GFX S2. Again, it's not too bad. It feels pretty balanced, feels quite nice. Yeah, it feels pretty decent. I'm quite happy about this. So that's it anyway. Lens hood and camera attached. Pretty decent. Nice one, Fuji. Okay folks, so that sums up this equipment that I've got, which is the Fujifilm GFX 100S2. I've got the GF 500mm f/5.6, and then I've also got in this box the GF 55mm f/1.7. It's such a mouthful, all these X's and G's. But that is what I've got, these 3 items. And the plan is I am going back to Slovenia. If you've seen my other vlogs, I went there in March time, where I saw brown bears in the wild and I was photographing them, and I was doing some other wildlife photography, and it was amazing. It was absolutely brilliant. Have a look at my vlog if you want to check it out. And I went there last time with the Fujifilm 200mm from the X series and my X-H2 and X-H2S. And this time I'm going to go with the GF series. That's the plan. It's 2 weeks. It's not like loads of time to give you an all-rounded user experience of out in the field of doing photography. I'm really mindful of that because it takes a lot of time to adjust to equipment. That's what I find anyway. It's not something you pick up overnight, and it's definitely something you need to learn and practice over time. But I'll be away for 2 weeks. I'll do my best to get pictures of the bears and other wildlife stuff, and then give you a really good experience of what happened and how it felt for me coming from the X series. That's the plan anyway. And just showcase what Fuji's about, because as you know, I'm a massive Fujifilm fan. I love their stuff. I'm really grateful for them letting me borrow this. Yeah, it's a massive compliment for them to say, yeah, take new equipment away. I've never thought that would be possible. So yeah, thank you, Fujifilm. And thank you for everyone as well that's made this channel possible, really, because it's you guys watching it and enjoying it, which has meant I could borrow gear like this and keep providing you videos, which hopefully you still enjoy. So it's this lovely cycle of positivity and awesomeness. So thank you so much. Anyway, on that note, I shall get going. And yes, so stay you, stay awesome, stay wild, and stay free. And I will see you for the bears in Slovenia with this equipment. If I don't see the bears, I'll just take you around some other wildlife that's there, because it's a stunning country with amazing, amazing wildlife and amazing landscape. So there's a lot I can do if the bears don't turn up. That's the plan. Right, I shall see you there. Goodbye for now. Bye. You're so far away. Bye. Come here. Come. Come here, Eric. Quick. Come here, sausage. Come on. Good boy. Can I sit down there? Yeah. Collapse, that's fine. And I just have to add, what a beautiful day it is. Wee. Where's my little button thing? I've got the GFX 100S2. I still can't say it right. So many X and H's. It's similar to the the X2 series, the XT. Yeah, similar to the X2. Oh my God. I've got the GFX, so many letters. Got wet knees now. I can't see myself. I can't see myself. So awkward. Gonna sing like Madonna. Gonna dance like a queen. What are you doing, you little monkey? Why didn't I do that before? Oh, I can't see. Pack it away. I'm so faffy. Not much more I can say than that. I gotta get using it.